The tier 5 Pirate Lord Buccaneer in BTE6 just got some ridiculous buffs, and I'm starting to think that Ninja might have actually over buffed it a little bit. So with update 44 coming out, there have been a couple of towers that are just the biggest winners of the patch, and one of those towers is the Pirate Lord. Now the Pirate Lord got some huge changes, making it was already a solid tower in my opinion, and for some reason Ninja just decided to make it even that much stronger. So let's go straight for the changes. Let me tell you guys what happened. So the changes start happening from the third tier cannon ship. So what is happening is that the grapes now get increased damage. Their damage went from 2 to 3. The cannonball's damage got increased from 1 to 2, and then the monkey pirate's 4th tier as well got an increase on the grape damage, which went from 3 to 5. The ability also got a 10% cooldown reduction. It's not a lot, it went from 50 to 45 seconds, but it's still nice to have. And then lastly, the Pirate Lord, the absolute monster of a tower, which was obviously a good tower before. I just never thought that the Pirate Lord was bad or needed a buff or something like that, but for some reason Ninja disagreed, so they decided to buff the Pirate Lord by giving it 6 hooks instead of 3, but they also increased the penalty for ZOMGs, or actually the number of required hooks for ZOMG pulls, from 2 to 3. So what does this mean for us? Well, it means that first off, the Pirate Lord can hook 2 full ZOMGs at once, and it might not sound like a lot, but for these big rounds it's actually huge. And also because BFBs take up 1 hook, that means that for rounds like for example 96, 98, we're just gonna be hooking like literally 1/3 of the round per use of ability. So yeah, that's gonna be absolutely wild. And while we know that this tower can eliminate these Moab Class balloons in a single ability, the tower is also really not bad at auto attacking while there's an ability downtime. So let's actually test it in action, but first off let me buy the cannon ship, and then we are going to have a count balloon on the next round. So here's what I want to do. I want to support the Pirate Lord. I don't exactly want to be buying, you know, too many of these other towers that are going to be doing a lot of damage, so I'm going to go for the Mermonkey. I'm going to have it like this on land, and I'm going to go for the bottom crosspath because I do want to stall the Moab Class balloons. Okay, so let's try and see these buffs in action. We're going to have around 35 and 36, and then even though we are going to have the money for the monkey pirates, I'm actually not going to buy it because it's going to make the normal attacks a lot stronger. So I just want to see these buffs in action. So for example, we're going to have cannonballs and some grapes, and yeah, these guys are definitely, you know, once it attacks, it eliminates a bunch of these balloons. This reminds me of the first OP iteration of the Pirate Lord, which actually happened a few updates ago. And when that happened, for some reason Ninja just decided to make the Pirate Lord a lot stronger. That's when this, you know, auto attacking arc for the Pirate Lord started, and then they decided it was a little bit too strong, so they had to nerf it back. And now they seem to be adding the damage back. So look at this thing, the pinks are going into green blue, so it only takes 2 shots to deal with all these guys. Okay, so this is very cool actually. I didn't think about this, but when these balloons take a circle around the Mermonkey, it actually kind of sets them up for the cannon ship, even though the cannon ship is essentially, even though they're essentially out of its range, right? So it allows you to get some extra shots off, which could be really useful, especially when we get the symphonic resonance, because we can just move the point a little bit closer to the cannon ship. That's really cool actually. Okay, so round 40, we do have the money for the monkey pirates. I'm actually not gonna buy it because I do want to see these new buffs in action. So +1 damage onto the grapes and onto the cannonballs, and let's see if this is gonna be enough to deal with the Moab. I think as long as we deal with the Moab layer, we should be fine, because that's when the alluring melody is gonna activate, and we are probably gonna keep these. Oh my god, we need to pop it a little bit earlier. Oh no, that's really close though. Let me actually try it like this. I'm only gonna give it to 200 Alchemist, and because this gives extra damage to Moabs and ceramics, it should make it pop a little bit earlier. And so I want to have these ceramics pop in range of the alluring melody so it gets pulled. Yes, exactly like that. And is this gonna be enough? Yes, that's perfect. That's perfect. Even though we know for a fact that we don't have the damage just because of the alluring melody, that's really good. Now, let's see how long we can survive with this thing. So it's round 43, and yeah, we are getting these balloons. You know, they're getting set up for the cannon ship to get attacked like this. Because around 45, the 230 cannon ship is still holding its on, which is a little bit surprising, but I think it's gonna crumble on the next round actually. Oh, we have some count purples. We're gonna need these guys to get pulled. It actually got decount, which is fine as well. And I'm just thinking with this totem, how do I place this totem so it pulls the balloons a little bit closer to the cannon ship? But I think the placement of the Mermonkey is fine, so maybe we just get the network going and increase its range, right? 45 ceramics. Let's see if we can deal with these guys. They all get pulled into the melody. This is crazy. I think we're gonna deal with them just because of the pull. There's one single 45 ceramic, but one shouldn't be a problem, right? No, never mind. But now this tower is so good that the third tier is so just good by itself. It holds its own, and it allows you to save for the monkey pirates pretty easily. So this is probably gonna be the biggest challenge in the 40s. It's round 49, a bunch of ceramics, a bunch of small balloons as well, so it's gonna test the pierce and the damage of it. But I feel like this Mermonkey is a little bit OP. I know that this is a Pirate Lord in the Miller Crosspath Buccaneer showcase, but guys, this little guy over here, this Mermonkey, he's just too good installing. Oh, and I just remembered there's a DPS effect from the Hotshot Grapes, so whenever a balloon comes near the Mermonkey, the DPS also gets triggered, which is not a lot of DPS to be fair. But I guess every single small amount counts, so this is just, let's see if this is gonna work. We have 3 full Moabs, 230 Buccaneer buffed by 200 Alchemist. This village, it does not even have the jungle jump, so it's just barely, just this tower by itself. So let's see if this is gonna be enough. Although I feel like the Mer Monkey, if we get, we finally leaked. Okay, round 53 is all it took. Okay. All right. So you know what? Instead of buying the Monkey Pirates, let me get the Berserker Brew. Let's get something like a 320 Alchemist, and let's see if we're gonna be able to survive this round. Now I have a feeling this is all it's gonna take, man. This third tier tower for some reason is just a lot better than I thought it was gonna be. Like, it is actually holding its own very, very well. Well, okay, with the exception of the Mer Monkey just being absolutely ridiculous in defending this, I feel like, oh my god, we just popped the BFB. So as long as we deal with the small balloons, which I think we do have a good chance of doing, the coming in range of the Mer Monkey, so some of them are gonna get held, and I can't believe this thing. We actually defended round 60. Yeah, just looking at what's happening, Ninja Kiwi has two. I'm gonna buy the Monkey Prize, by the way, but yeah, looking at this, Ninja Kiwi has two problems on their hands. Number one is this Mer Monkey being absolutely ridiculous, but number two is that they're gonna have to make a decision in whether or not they keep the same prices on the cannon ship and the Monkey Pirates, or they just have to increase the prices, because this tower does seem a little bit stronger than it used to be. I'm actually gonna use the hook ability because this is the reduced cooldown, and we do get the extra grape damage again thanks to update 44 buff. So we do have the money for a Pirate Lord, but I have a feeling that we're not gonna need it for round 63. Yeah, let's just watch. So round 63, the entire wave of ceramic just went past the Mer Monkey. Okay, so that might not be a good sign, but I think that we have more than enough AoE with the cannonballs, right? Some of these guys are kind of, I was gonna say they're leaking, but yeah, it kind of came close to it, but we defend this, no problem, I think. Let's watch the second wave. Again, huge AoE just happening with these cannonballs, and yeah, this tower is just not even budging. Let me just give it the stronger stem. Let's just give it the jungle jump just so we get some extra damage. And actually, something really cool that happened right now is that, as you guys can see, this tower, the Monkey Pirates, attacks with 3 cannonballs instead of 1. So now, because each one of these 3 cannonballs got +1 extra damage, we essentially got +3 damage. So yeah, these damage buffs, they just keep adding up on top of each other. The grapes now do 5 damage. So I feel like the price for this thing must get increased in the next update, because this actually feels a little bit too good, if I can say so. So now that I'm done with all my tier 5 Mer Monkey videos, I wanted to ask you guys, how do you guys feel about the Mer Monkey? I mean, this tower, as you have probably been watching, throughout this video, and if you haven't seen it, I bet all of you have seen what is happening with this Mer Monkey tower. But I wanted to ask you guys, how do you guys feel about it? Is this tower getting nerfed, or is it absolutely getting nerfed in the next update? I think all of these paths, oh my god, this is just such a good tower. I feel like maybe we should buy the tier 5, the final harmonic, in this game as well. So here's what I was thinking of doing. Actually, I wanted to get a bunch of these EcoSense networks, and I wanted to get the 5th tier. Let me just get the EcoSense networks going just like this, because they're super cheap. We also have the money for the Pirate Lore, which is going to be our showcase tower. So you know what, let me actually buy the Pirate Lore right now, and let's pull all of these guys, because this is what it does now. This is absolutely insane. That's the entirety of round 75. Well, it's not actually the entirety, but it's a huge chunk of the round just gone, and the cooldown on this thing is not even long. Round 77, we're gonna have, like, I think it was 5 or 6 BFBs incoming, so just a bunch of small Moabs, then these BFBs, and I am actually gonna hook all of these guys. I'm just gonna use it. Oh my god, this is ridiculous. I'm not used to seeing this thing work like this. This is just, yeah, it's not just how good this tower is pre-free play, but it's actually how good it is inside of free play, because these Moab Class Bloons, they're gonna start ramping up their HP, so one-shotting them actually becomes a luxury eventually. So to have the luxury of just using 6 hooks and just deleting 6 BFBs in a second just like that is absolutely ridiculous. I mean, it also makes the job a little bit easier for itself, right? Because it doesn't have to pop them with its auto attacks. Yeah, look at this thing, for example. Round 82, we can be popping these Bloons, but I just used the ability, 6 of them gone. This is ridiculous. I'm not sure why Ninja Kiwi did this, by the way. This is absolutely ridiculous. It works the same way on these fortified Bloons. The problem is that this ability, it does have a short cooldown, but you know what? I think that we can afford an Energizer sub, so let's just make this thing as short as possible. Let me use the ability, and bam, that's all of these BFBs just gone in an instant. And let's make sure the next tower that we buy is going to be the final harmonic, because I do want to be bringing these Bloons a little bit closer to the Pirate Lord. So let's use the ability right now. I will actually waited because there are BFBs actually coming out in this round below the Moabs. And here's actually one of the things that we couldn't do previously, and that is hooking ZOMGs. So previously you could actually only hook one ZOMG, but now we can do this. So we can hook both of these guys, and that's round 85 gone. Actually, you know what? Round 86 might be gone with the click of a single button. Let me just try and be patient and wait for all these guys to come out. And if I use this, yeah, that's 86. This shouldn't be happening. This tower is way too good, guys. Round 89, let me use the ability to eliminate a bunch of these guys, and we do have the money for the final harmonic. So I think I'm actually gonna buy it. Let's have the totem like this. So we're gonna have the Bloons echoing right here, and then is this a good idea because I do want to get them closer to the range of the Pirate Lord so it attacks them, but at the same time I don't want to be popping them because we're playing off of the abilities. Yeah, let's just use the ability like this. Round 91, a bunch of BFBs. Let's use the ability once we eliminated a bunch of these guys, then they're gonna start just going into the circle around the Pirate Lord, so they are gonna pop thanks to these new buffs that we got actually in the Pirate Lord. This combo, guys, is this like a 2-tower chimps combo that I'm looking at? Maybe you're gonna have to go for the bottom crosspath on the Pirate Lord, but yeah, these two guys, they seem way too good together. Okay, so 95 we can use, and we have to use this ability a little bit more urgently, I feel like, because this might be a round in which we can get overwhelmed. I only have an alchemist buffing this guy, by the way, so maybe something like an overclock would have been nice. I went for the MIB because I wanted to get the call to arms. Let's use the ability again, and yeah, with these 6 hooks, when like all the deities disappear, yeah, it kind of, I have a lot of weight going off my shoulders. Okay, so actually something that I want to do for round 98 is I want to play the entire round off of abilities because we can hook so many balloons at the same time. So I'm just gonna have the totem, like after this round is done, by the way, I'm gonna move the totem on the right side. Okay, so let's do it like this. Let me move the totem over here towards the right side. Let me use the ability. I'm gonna hook both of these guys, and I want to move these guys as far away from the Buccaneer as possible. Let's see if we can beat this round by only using the hooks. So yeah, we can hook like 2 ZMGs. So it's gonna be the ZMGs first, right? So we are gonna have to take care of those. I don't think this is happening. Maybe we should have bought the glue actually. Let me restart this round for a second. Okay, let me actually buy this thing, a Moab glue, which I'm gonna set on strong. And then how do we keep these Moab class balloons in place without popping them? Let's get a Sabo, and let's also get a let's get a snowstorm. Hopefully this is gonna be enough. So what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to just keep all of these Moab class balloons in place, and I want to hook the entirety around. This is probably not the map to do this, by the way, because essentially if something leaks, it is gonna go, you know, it's gonna go along the track and it's gonna go into the range of the Pirate Lord, which is pretty huge. I mean, we are keeping them in place a little bit better than last time, so let me just keep using the ability. No, these BFBs are leaking, we're still hooking ZOMGs. Yeah, this is not gonna work, but I guess it's just like, it's just a showcase of how nice this combo can be. So you can just permanently stall, or maybe not permanently, but you can stall balloons for a very, very, very long time with this combo. Let's get the Sabo going. Let's use the ability onto a bunch of these BFBs. Maybe we want to move the totem. Where do we want to move it? Maybe we want to move it to the left side now. Let's use the hook ability and let's move all of these guys towards the left side now. Yeah, never mind. We just popped it with our all attack, just showcasing how good everything is. But yeah, these pops, man, 1.8 million. We are not gonna do the 2 million pops. This would have been like an accidental 2 mega pops, by the way, but we're not gonna make it happen. But that's completely fine. So let's use the ability because I kind of might have used the hook ability for absolutely no reason onto the Moabs, but it doesn't seem to matter. Yeah, we're gonna have it back for the DT, so let's hook these guys, and yeah, that's gonna be, you know, actually hopefully I didn't jinx it because this is a bad balloon and we cannot hook in bad balloons. We do get instant activation onto the DPS, as you guys can probably see here in the damage that the Mermonkey has. Oh, hold on, wait a minute. So this thing is actually struggling versus bads a little bit, isn't it? So we might want to get some DPS increase. Let's just see how it does by itself. I mean, this is a super long map to be fair, so it is gonna do a lot of damage to it, but it's not gonna pop it seems like. Okay, so let's get some extra DPS for it. Well, instead of buying all of these ridiculous towers here on the top, like I guess the Sabo is nice, but come on, the Snowstorm and the Moab Glue, not necessary, at least not in this run. We should have went for an overclock a little bit earlier, so we just barely have the money for this thing, by the way, $900 left over. So let me overclock this guy, and now with the overclock and the new extra damage, this thing should be more than enough actually for the bad balloon. Yes, look at it go. This damage is absolutely insane, and again, I'm super impressed by these hooks. I feel like the hooks, this is way too many hooks, guys. So what I feel like is gonna happen is the number of hooks is gonna get reduced. I feel like it's gonna be a big nerf coming. It's probably gonna go from 6 to 4, something like that, just because like 6 seems a little bit excessive, and then maybe they're gonna decide to keep the extra damage that they gave it through these other stuff, like the extra damage that you get on the cannon ship and the monkey pirates. But yeah, this is just absolutely ridiculous what's happening with this tower. By the way, it popped, so hopefully this ZMG though doesn't pop actually. So we do have the Snowstorm ability, which doesn't do, oh, never mind, I forgot about the Mermonkey. Yeah, we're gonna have the hook, and there we go, that's gonna be it. So yeah, the Pirate Lord, absolutely ridiculous, although I do have to give an honorable mention to the Mermonkey, which made this whole run possible. The tier 3 and the tier 4 a lot more reliable nowadays, and then just ridiculous what is happening with the Pirate Lord with the 6 hooks. But that's gonna be it for this one. Hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I'm gonna see you all in the next one.